Hi, Dave here, and this is episode 31 of the art review series, and today we're going to explore the work of JeeHyung Lee. Now, JeeHyung Lee is actually, I wouldn't consider him a concept artist because he's more based on his portfolio. He's a comic book artist, and I would say he focuses more on cover art. He doesn't actually do the like the inks and shit, right? He does more of the cover art for comic books, as you can see. And yeah, I think he does a lot of work for Marvel. So maybe some DC stuff, because he does have a lot of Batman. So I mean, those are pretty much the only two big main the biggest, I guess, comic shit. So well, let's I did pick out some of his, or some of his work. We're not going to explore his entire portfolio. I do recommend you check out his website. I think he does have an art book, as you can see, JeeHyung's Illustrations, right? JeeHyung's Illustrations, yes. And yeah, I will be linking all the relevant links in the description below. So yeah, let's proceed. So this one's actually back in 2013. His tag is actually pretty big, right? But you can, if you kind of check out his more recent work and compare it to this one, you can see some very interesting similarities. His brushwork is not as, is going to be cleaner, because his renderings are more, well, renderings, and they actually look very kind of clean, and it does fit the kind of comic book look for the most part, I guess. But in terms of the way he handles his shapes, he does have some very dynamic poses in his work. He does focus obviously more on characters, right? And even in his brushwork, he doesn't use a lot of texture brushes. I did observe that. Even in his most recent work, not a lot of texture brushes. And I think he likes to just keep it simple. And it does kind of look good, right, in his work. Because his work does look kind of simple, right, in terms of the way it's painted, but it's pretty complicated, right? Because yeah, because I couldn't do it, you know, right now, because eventually perhaps if I actually try but and you know, obviously get more experience, right? But yeah, very cool. Now here, I think it's more recent, not recent, but it's been, oh, it's back in 2013. He does this thing where he leaves the kind of the edge of the characters kind of bold, or it does have kind of the an Art Nouveau kind of look, very similar to Adam Hughes' work. Adam Hughes' work. And I think it does fit the kind of comic book world, because when it comes to comic books, you obviously see a lot of inks, and it does kind of look good even in cover art when you show off the kind of edges of the contour, right? It kind of fits the inks of the following pages within the comic book. And again, even here, check out his brushwork. Very, very simple. Simple in the sense that it's not textured at all. And you can even see a lot of his kind of back and forth strokes. Very, very interesting. And what's so cool about his work is that he does paint everything, right? He does a very rough sketch, I guess. Not super rough, but it's a kind of a solid sketch, and then he paints, right? And the way he does his face is very, very, it's stylized, but it does fall on the side of realism. Look at the way he paints this hand. He does suggest some of the folds in the palm, right? And even here in the kind of forearm, right? Closing in on the wrist, you can see his kind of back and forth strokes. If you view it from afar, it's hard to tell. So it does make, you know, it's kind of good. You don't have to overly render everything. right? Because your illustrations will often be kind of squished down depending on how it's going to be viewed, whether it be a book or in a kind of screen tablet, right? Or monitor. I'm not sure what this concept is about. This was done in 2013. This could be his take on Catwoman, I think. I think so. It's kind of a mutation of sorts, right? It's not like a suit, I would say. And look at the way he simplifies the bones that kind of connect to the knuckles, right? That kind of make up the actual hand. Very interesting way of suggesting that, right? And again, this could be some kind of cover, right? Or fan art. Oh, very nice. Obviously, there's a nice dragon in the background. He does. I'm not sure what this is about because I don't have the description open in the side. But he does again focus more on superheroes, so that's his focus when it comes to his portfolio. Now this one is more of a fantasy kind of thing, I would say. Nice dragon in the background, and he doesn't do a lot of backgrounds in his work. Even the way he paints the mountain, super vague. He does spend a little more effort with the dragon because obviously it's the one that's closer to you, I guess. And this one actually looks like Godzilla. Or the kind of 1998 Godzilla. 1998 or 1997? Not sure. It's the Godzilla that people kind of hate online. Not sure why. Well, some people say that it's not really Godzilla because it doesn't look like, quote unquote Godzilla, right? They just kind of consider it as some kind of kaiju or something. But to me, I was raised with that movie, so to me, it looks like Godzilla. Look at the way he paints the elbows. Fuck. The hand is simplified, but it looks like a hand. The elbow looks like an elbow. He does show a bit of a soft kind of bottom lighting in the kind of upper arm, right? Kind of adds to the kind of spherical or the 3D-ness, right, of this kind of arm. And even the way he paints his materials, he doesn't use, again, texture brushes. He doesn't use photos, or he doesn't photo bash. He just paints, and he does paint textures very, very accurately, I would say. And again, he does have a certain style for the face. So especially when it comes to his female characters, you'll see a kind of repetitive. You'll see kind of repeating elements. And again, that's his own style, and it's very kind of notable. Notable, I think. And even the way he paints the skin, very well done. It's a bit desaturated in the bottom. I think it makes sense because I think this is the focus on the top. And even the background is quite desaturated. And obviously the armor is kind of... I get it. I like it, but the armor is kind of... it makes sense to be in the kind of neck area to protect the... Because the neck is a kind of vulnerable area, right? But the legs not being armored, the back... you can't see your back, right? So you'll need to be able to add some armor, but hey. And I do like the fact that he does add some dimples. Very nice touch. And I'm actually still having trouble with the back, especially doing this kind of... There is a kind of crease in the center, right? Where your backbone lies, right? And it does add this nice light value here to kind of suggest that kind of canyon that happens in the back. And even how this thing in the front part kind of squishes the fat in the skin, you can tell in this part right here, he does add a nice light value. So it kind of feels like this kind of piece of clothing is pressing onto the skin. Very nice touch. Alright. Oof. This one is the kind of girl version of Wolverine. I'm not sure what the actual name is. I do like the way the back is done. Very kind of compact and kind of full. Definitely fit. And I do like the way he didn't totally balance everything out. Like this left part is kind of raised slightly up, right? And it does add a more human kind of effect to it, right? Because if it were too symmetrical, it's going to look very kind of flat and boring. And I do like that simple shift in the pose, right? Even the way he paints the hair, very nice, very simplified, very stylized. He does kind of I guess he treats the hair as kind of a series of shapes. Excuse me. The way he paints his folds, very suggestible. He does know where to add the kind of creases and everything. And this one does have a latex look to it, right? Based on the glow and everything. Very nice touch. And again, let's go back. Even the background, again, it's like very basic. He focuses more on the character, obviously. Now here he does paint the background a bit. I'm not sure if he painted the ones in the back. Maybe not. I can't say. Although I have seen this thing before, this painting in the background. I'm not sure if he did it or it's... yeah. Although I do like the pose of Chun-Li. I think this is Chun-Li. This actually does look more like a keyframe because you can see in this part right here, it's kind of blurred. So it does have a kind of cinematic effect, right? And look at the way she just looks at you. I mean, damn. And I love the kind of foreshortening of that elbow, right? Even the way he paints the wrist area, where the hand and the forearm meet, looks very natural, very simplified, but it's very natural looking. And look at that bit of pink he adds in the elbow. It does add to that natural kind of flesh look, right? Because we do have, like, it does get a bit more red in certain parts, say the knuckles and the elbows. Not sure why, what's the reason? Less fat, I guess. But yeah, again, look at the face, very stylized, very his style, because he does have his own style for painting and rendering faces, right? And the hair, look at the way that hand brushes over the hair. Very nice touch. Looks very cool. Okay, this was done in 2015. And again, you can tell in the contour he does add kind of a solid line. Very Art Nouveau-ish. Now, I'm not exactly sure who this character is, but it's obviously Japanese. I'm basing this off of the samurai sword, right? The katana. Very nice leg. So apparently he did this Batman sketch when he was 7, and this is more of a modern 2016 painting of Batman. Now this is shit. What is this thing called? Fuck. It's kind of a half horse, half human. Fuck. There's a term for this kind of fantasy creature. Oh, he does paint the environment a bit here. But again, not a lot of texture brushes. Here he does use it a bit. Here, yeah. But very simple way of painting. And he probably just created a nice silhouette for the rocks. and then painted within that silhouette. The way he simplifies the reflectiveness of the shield, right? And the kind of shoulder pads, very highly reflective material here, and even the way he paints the hair of the horse, kind of the tail, right? Fuck. Nice bit of fat, right? Being pressed. So there's this kind of mushy thing going on here. It looks very natural to me. Oh shit, I'm sorry about that. Technical difficulty. Oh fuck. Okay, I'm sorry, we're back. Okay, let's move on. Oof, Doctor Strange. Oh, by the way, JeeHyung Lee, I don't think he does have his own, at least based on my basic research, I don't think he does have his own YouTube channel. There is another artist, I think, with a similar name, JeeHyung Lee. I will be doing an art review of his work eventually, but I will be linking again the videos and other links in the description below. But if you want to see videos of JeeHyung Lee's kind of process, I would recommend to check out Marvel Future Fight, the channel, the YouTube channel, and you'll see some of his process videos there. Now, I'm not sure why he won't, or he doesn't have his own kind of YouTube channel. But yeah, so this one's definitely more of a cover thing, right? Now this one is just a basic portrait, right? I think this is what he used in his book. I love the way he paints the body and the face. I mean, again, he does focus more on characters, so he does have more experience in this kind of yeah. Look at those clavicles. The edge control, very clear. Some parts are soft, some parts are kind of hard edged. And again, he doesn't use a lot of textured brushes, which is very, very inspirational, right? You don't need the best kind of overly complicated brushes. And I like the way he makes this part right here a bit hot. You can see a bit of yellow and pink, or orange, right? Some kind of reddish thing going on here. Looks very kind of fleshy. And obviously there's some kind of light source coming from this area, and it does affect the hair as well. Perhaps some kind of soft light thing going on. And again, the hair is super simplified, very big shapes, and the face is obviously very stylized, but again, it does fall under the kind of realism side. Look at the way he paints this part right here, the edge. A nice cut between this light value and this dark value. A very nice touch, right? Look at the way he paints the lips. Very mushy. Oh shit, that bit of fat, because you do have the lower lip, right? And then it does have to mix with the rest of the cheek, and you can see this bit of fat just in the edge of this lip. Well done, JeeHyung Lee, well done. And the nose looks super cool, because whenever I paint or draw the nose, it looks very fucking ugly. But this one looks pretty cool. And he even added a nice dip in the kind of where the clavicles kind of meet, right? Oh, this one is the guy in the kind of Ant-Man movie, the bad guy, right? This one is shit. What's his name? Fuck. Holy shit! I forgot his name. The guy who could actually lift the Thor's hammer. Very cool. And it actually does look like the actual actor who played shit, what's his fucking name? Oh my god. Fuck. I'm sorry I failed you guys. I think this one is Jane Foster, the kind of girlfriend of Thor. I'm not sure how the Marvel universe works, but this could be some kind of alternate universe, I think. Again, look at the way he paints the material. Very highly reflective. Even the lightning is obviously painted, I think. And by the way, I'm actually doing this video at 1:16 a.m. So I'm actually kind of sleepy, but I need to do this because I need to keep up the work, right? Okay. I'm not sure if this chick is some kind of superhero. Looks pretty weird, but I do love the pose. Very dynamic. You can see a kind of triangle thing going on here. It's kind of focused and funnels toward this her left leg, right? And this knee looks really cool, and you can see the kind of blockiness of the knee here. Well done. So this could be some kind of yo-yo. I love the way he paints the face and this kind of nice helmet or face shield. Very nice touch. A very rendered face. And the folds are well done. It does have its own kind of texture. It does have a bit of reflectiveness going on. And look at the way he paints the dress. It does have a latex look to it, right? This would be Miss Marvel or Captain Marvel, right? Look at those shoulders. Wow, they're so rounded. They're bigger than mine. Fuck. I need to work out. Fuck. And look at the way she's looking at you. So intense. Fuck. Those hands look pretty big though. But fuck it. I think this is Medusa. Oh, done in 2017. Medusa, I think. I'm not sure who this chick is. This was done in 2018, but this one actually looks a little more realistic. It's almost like a 3D kind of model that you would see in a lot of kind of animated 3D films, right? Very CGI stuff. I love the way he paints the latex kind of thing going on here with the jacket, right? And you can even see some of his strokes. Wow, very cool stuff, man. And again, the way he paints the forms in the face, you can see the kind of edges, right? Near the kind of socket of the eye. And even the way he paints the kind of frown. It's not a frown, the kind of where you squish your kind of eyebrows together. And whenever you're angry, I guess, or pissed. Look at those folds. Oh, even the hair. Well done. And he did paint the hair tied. So the hair is obviously tied up in the back. Maybe in some kind of ponytail. He doesn't show the back. But you can tell this one is tied to a ponytail, right? Looks really cool. Because usually he does kind of free flowing hair. But in this case, he does do a fold. Or a kind of tied up hair. Even the way he paints the ear, very nice. Oh, I believe this one is Gambit. Yeah. Oh, by the way, I did have a long break. Fuck. Anyway, I think he does have a video of this painting. It is in the kind of Marvel fight channel something. I will link the video in the description below. I do have a few videos where he does show his process in that kind of channel, but again, he does paint most of it, and he does make it. He really does focus more on the cover style kind of a thing where his paintings can actually become some kind of wallpaper or obviously cover art for some kind of comic book, right? Nice. And he does also, well, Vampirella, I think this is Vampirella. She's a bit too pale. Makes sense, she is a vampire, I guess. But if you focus on the hand, he does add a bit of pink or red near the fingertips, and it does add a bit more life, even though she's kind of pale and everything. It does add a bit more life, right? And again, the background is super kept simple. It's not about the background, and again, he is a comic cover kind of guy. And he does like to add a few things in the foreground that's kind of blurred. It does add a bit of depth, right, to the illustration. And again, look at the folds right here. You can even see some of his brush strokes, right? Not a lot of textures. He does go back and forth, you can tell, but you do have to zoom in to be able to see his brush strokes. And the hair, look at that. Again, stylized, but well done. He knows how to batch them, right? Like chunk them into sections, right? And again, he does have a very similar face. This one is Vampirella and Blade. I do love the expression of Blade though. If you ever kind of bite your jaw, you'll see this. Is it some kind of tendon or muscle, right? Kind of in the edge of her chin. And I did like the way JeeHyung Lee did represent that. And that kind of vein in the side of your eye when you're kind of pissed. Well done. And of course, Vampirella is more kind of in the chill mode, kind of playful, right? Even the hands, if you zoom in, oh, you can't really zoom in. Fuck. But you can still see a bit of the strokes here where he kind of goes back and forth. Nice fold of the kind of skin right here, in a kind of thumb joint, right? And even the ears, he does make it look 3D, in that it actually looks like some kind of form, right? It doesn't look flat at all. And even the hair of Blade is kept simple, right? Obviously, it's kind of an afro type of hair, but it's well cut, stylized. Nice. And again, he does leave that nice bold line in the edge, right? In the kind of contour of the character. Very Art Nouveau-ish. So this is Hellboy. The new version or the recent Hellboy. I actually do like the Hellboy movie, the recent one. I wish though there was more of those monsters kind of in the end of the film, because there was this kind of scene near the end where monsters just kind of, I guess from hell, kind of just came out and just started to kill folks, right? And they were kind of the best part in a way. There were a lot of funny moments in the film, which I did like, and I don't think it did get a lot of good reviews, but for me, I did like the film. Very funny, and yeah. Look at that pancake. Very nicely done. And look at the folds, right? The wrinkles. And again, not a lot of textures in his brushwork. I like the way he painted the wrinkles of the forehead, right? And some of the scars on the face and the hand. Nicely done. I'm not sure who this is, but well done. So this one is more of a fantasy thing, I would say. And again, look at the way he paints the texture, the material of the armor. You can tell which part is leather and which part is kind of metal, right? I think he did add the splatter stuff in the end. The blood stains, right? Look at the way he painted this hair. The kind of pony shit, the braiding. And he did add those bits of strands of hair. It happens even when you tie your hair. Eventually, in the end of the day, you'll get like random strands just kind of not peeling out, but popping out, right? And obviously, she's been in a kind of war scene, so she's obviously going to be a bit more roughed up. So makes sense to make it more kind of messy, right? And again, very similar face. He does change it obviously depending on the character, right? And I love his paintings of the face. It looks very... Sure, it's stylized, but it is still realistic, right? Look at that back muscle right here. I think this part of my body started popping out when I started doing pull-ups, which is really cool. So I do like the way he it makes it realistic, right? And whenever he does his I love the dimples. And again, the back part, the kind of caving in or the kind of canyon where there's a bit of a dip near the backbone, right? Nice touch. And of course, the dimples. Nicely done. The outer contour line is not as strong for this one. You can see a bit of it here, but that's pretty much it. And yeah, I do like the way his bodies even look slightly... They're more realistic in that it's not overly... stylized, right? Even for the guys, even if the guys are kind of jacked and everything, it still looks fairly realistic. He does add a bit of fat. They're not overly ripped and kind of cut, or they have like 1% body fat, right? So this one is Harlequin. I think the more contemporary version. Daddy's little monster. Ooh, bad. Again, love the hand, the palm wrinkles, the folds of the jacket, right? The wrinkles. Nice touch. And he did indicate some kind of raindrops falling or drooping or running across her face, right? And it does show a bit of the form of the face as it kind of goes about the face, right? And I'm pretty sure he obviously adds the kind of rain effect after he paints the character. She's kind of pale, but some red and blue. That's kind of her thing. And I think she is wearing some kind of stocking. So maybe he did do some kind of texture here. And he may have warped it, right? Pretty cool. So in this case, he did use some kind of texture for the stocking. Nice abs, flat abs. Not a lot of strong contour lines, the kind of dark ones, right? But yes. Ooh, I actually do love this Venom cover, right? Venom here is a bit more scary, because in the film, in the recent, I think it was by Sony, right? Not exactly by Marvel. It wasn't exactly R-rated or rated R, so you couldn't see a lot of kind of bloody scenes. And I think people actually want more of that, kind of like Deadpool, because for Deadpool, I think it is rated R. And I think it would look or fit the actual character well, because Venom is this kind of symbiote thing that needs to eat all the time, and it's kind of the anti-hero, so it kind of makes sense because Deadpool is not exactly a hero as well. He's kind of an anti-hero. Yeah. Look at those teeth though. Now, I'm not sure who the chick is, but oh, I love the green eyes. And again, same kind of similar face structure. Oh. And I like how he does show up the bone kind of surrounding the socket of the eye, so it doesn't look flat like it's one flat forehead. You know, there is some bone, and it does add more realism in his work. And the suit itself is very, very scary, right? Or pretty badass. So we've got some Batman stuff here. So yeah, I think he works between Marvel and DC. And based on his portfolio, I think he does more cover art stuff. He does add some blur for this piece more, because obviously this is some kind of action scene. He's kind of dropping from the ceiling perhaps, and glass is kind of breaking apart. More Batman stuff. He did paint the this kind of blade thing that Batman throws. I love the tricep though. So he does have a bit more knowledge of human anatomy, I guess. So this could be Batman dropping off from his ship, right? This kind of flying ship thing. I love the cape though. He does have a good idea of how to paint folds, right? Now this one is more of a stable kind of pose. I do love the background though. How he may have used some photos here for the fire, but I'm pretty sure he did use some kind of textures or maybe photos for the sparkles that comes with fire, right? Damn, look at those legs. And again, look at his anatomy. It's not overly he's not ripped, like and the suit doesn't show that he's super ripped, right? It's kind of nicely, it looks realistic. I mean, I'm pretty sure there are some folks, maybe some bodybuilders that look like this. They do or may have to wear some kind of tighter, I don't know, suit. But it is not overly like wherein you can see the veins and everything. It's not, you know, too far off. And I think that's one of the reasons why I like his work. Oh, here we can actually see Batman's eyes. And there are wrinkles on the mask, so that could be kind of a natural or embedded thing. But yeah. Oh, I believe this is Gwen Stacy. He did add a bit of the oh, nice. If you focus on the leg, oh shit. If you focus on the leg, you can see in the kind of contour, he did add a kind of nice line, right? And the legs are rendered so smoothly, and even the dress, right? Again, not a lot of textured brushes, and it's pretty good with the folds. And look at the way the folds kind of change in the bottom of the sweater as it kind of implants itself on kind of the waist, right? It does have a compressed kind of fold here, a pinching kind of fold near the between the forearm and the upper arm, and some pinching folds here near the armpit. Excuse me. And again, look at that hair, very blondie hair, and he does kind of chunk it again. Very stylized. And I even like the profile of the face. If you focus in on the lips, the mouth, and the eyes, it doesn't look flatly rendered. You know what I mean? Like you could tell with the mouth, it's there is some perspective, right? There's the further or the farther part of the mouth or the upper lip, and then it kind of goes here and kind of thins down to this thing here, right? And it looks kind of a 3D. It looks 3D, right? Like there's some kind of depth going on, and even the eye. The eye looks actually spherical to me, right? Like an actual eyeball. So I think that's a nice touch. Damn, nice pose. Nice coat. And maybe he did use a photo for the background, not sure, but this is Gwen Stacy, right? I think this is still Gwen Stacy. Gwen Stacy. Damn, look at those shoulders. Fuck. It's slightly bigger than mine. Fuck. I need to work out. Oh, I do love the way he painted the elbows. It looks very similar to my elbows, right? And my forearm. He probably does a lot of studies behind the scenes, I'm guessing. And notice how he paints the hip bone, or he indicates the kind of waist hip bone thing here and here. Well done. And the elbows look really natural, by the way. It's kind of a blocky type of elbow, right? I have the same kind. Ish. Very nice. And even though the face is all different, the style is kind of the same. You can tell it's his way of drawing and painting, right? This one is a masked version. Nice. Oh, I think this one is shit. What's her name? The chick, the kind of Soviet, not Soviet. The fuck. What's her name? Oh no, I forgot. There must be. Oh fuck, Black Widow. So dumb. It's literally in the fucking photo. Anyway. I do like this. He did add that nice thick contour around the figure. And again, it does fit the kind of comic book style thing. Especially when it comes to the inking process. I'm not sure if these are bullets. But yeah. It's not exactly a super latex suit. It does look a bit matte, and I do like the way he indicated or illustrated that. And again, he does render the face pretty well. And this one, the face is kind of in the tilted angle, and you're seeing it from the bottom. Look at the way he did that. Very nicely done. But again, he's very focused on characters, on comic book kinds of characters, especially kind of in poses that fit kind of covers. So he's going to be way more advanced in this sort of thing. Oh, this one is a masked version. Yeah. I mean, I like the folds, but I like this one better. Ooh. I think this is one of his most famous or most popular pieces. I mean, just the way he handled the whip. Damn. And the kind of sparkles. Not sparkles, but the kind of it just looks so dynamic, like. And you can look at the way he painted the. Oh, she does have wide shoulders. Fuck. Right? Look at that. Pretty wide. Kind of a swimmer. Kind of chick. Nice clavicles. And look at the way these two things kind of meet in the midpoint of these two clavicles, right? And can we zoom in? Oh, we can. Oh, look at that expression. He does have the same expression. So fuck. It's kind of an angry. Oh, I do love the kind of gold plate kind of effect with her kind of crown, I guess. It's kind of a chroma kind of thing. Very well done. I do like the hair. Very dynamic. I love the effect of the whip, right? And the kind of the sprinkles. The sprinkles, the yellow things that kind of happen when you're kind of welding or doing some machining, right? Love it. Love it. Oh, I think this was one of his posts encouraging people to stay home. I mean, I love the illustration. Oh, what's she eating? Oh, what is this? Fuck. I know this kind of fruit, but I can't remember what it is. Oh, he did add that nice solid line in the kind of contour. Even in the background, he did put it a bit. He did it everywhere. So pretty cool. I love the expression of the face, like she's munching on something. Very nicely done. Is she Wonder Woman? Maybe not. Oh, another Gwen Stacy. I think she's removing her shoe. Here we actually have a video process. Oh, it's a different one. So it's by JeeHyung Lee. He started manually, traditionally, with some markers, right? And then he brought it to Photoshop, I'm pretty sure. Painted over it. So he did have multiple layers. And eventually the kind of rendering became more tighter and more smoother, I guess. Look at that process. And some lighting in the end. The way he softens up the face. Oh, and Gwen's face looks so innocent, right? Like she's like, I don't know, 15? Right? Looks pretty young. Or maybe 17. Right? I think Gwen is a high school student or something, right? Not sure. Here we have another process of Harlequin, the kind of contemporary version. Because whenever I see Harlequin, I'm kind of reminded of the red suit, right? But of course, this is a more contemporary take. He did start with a back view, I guess. And then he did say the side view would look better. Same concept, but he did do it in the kind of side view. He did have a kind of a muzzle in the beginning. He removed it, of course. And you can see he does have a lot of layer work. And he did add that nice contour in the end. Kind of that solid line. And it looks so clean, which is really, really cool. So I hope you enjoy this video. Now I know he's not exactly a concept artist, but I do like the way he renders his characters and the way he doesn't have a lot of complex brushes. Very simple brushes. He doesn't use a lot of photo bashing, obviously, and he's a good example of what you can achieve with just kind of basic tools, right? And yeah, because in art there are a lot of kind of conflicting or overlapping I don't know, art fields, right? But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this episode of the art review series. Keep painting and stay free.